Okay, so I am thinking that probably we are going to finish the current game tonight if it turns out that they all are about the same length, which I can't imagine that too many of them would be much longer or much shorter than any others. So I think we're probably going to be finishing it, or at least coming close to finishing it. Um, so I I'm just going to hop on that, and then the cat is going to scratch the couch a little bit. Let's see. Okay. And hopefully this saved my place. I'm not 100% certain if it did or not. Boop. Boop. Okay. Lily Beans, are you come to sit on my lap? You coming to sit down and cuddle? Are you going to behave yourself? I sure hope so. Lily is coming to be social. I don't remember where we left off. We were doing something. Why is your tail wet? How did you manage that? We were saving the world. That's the extent of my knowledge. I don't remember anything about this, other than that we are all silly gods. This time when I enter the financial sector, I don't have to go past all of the wreckage of its borders. In one way, it's a relief not to have to go near the fraying of the world, but it's also a little sad. I stare down the entrance to Lucren's tower. This will be the most difficult hurdle to get over. I have to get through to him. But before that... Are you sure they won't eat me? Aw, she protects, she attack. I don't remember how I was doing her exactly. Because I think she changed a little bit at the end of the last one. Don't worry, I protect. I don't remember what I was trying to do with their voice. I couldn't figure out a good voice for them. You have that agreement with him now, don't you? They won't attack his business partners. Well, maybe they'll eat Mesmeri after that r/Wall Street begs thing. That could be fun. I walk past Lucren's statues nervously. The bull snorts but doesn't move. The bear is sleeping. It cracks an eye open at us as we pass before going back to its nap. Kind of cute. I wonder if I can pet it. This one seems like it's a little bit more linear of a storyline than like the other one was. Like, I think that deciding which one to like go see first, or saying like, oh, this is the one that I think I'm most interested in learning about, doesn't really seem to be changing much. It might honestly be more like the small sort of more what felt like just kind of random questions that might be doing it. Like suddenly like, oh, well now you're interested in her, I guess. I made tea. Stepping inside Lucren's tower, at first I think there's something wrong with my eyes. I lift my hand to my face, and then look over at Mesmeri and Mania. It's not my vision. The inside of the skyscraper is nearly drained of color. It's kinda depressing. I feel like anyone would lose their mind in a place like this. Maybe that's why he's so grumpy all the time. I told you it was boring. Haha, doesn't it suit him? I approach one of the many circular kiosks. A multitude of screens display data and rows of data in red and green. Oh, we are getting off to a great start with my reading comprehension for tonight. A multitude of screens display rows of data in red and green, the only colors in the room. It's even more indecipherable to me than all of the slang and emojis in Mesmeri's domain. The letters I can read mean nothing to me, just short strings of random capital letters. The numbers increase and decrease every few seconds, but I have no idea what they measure. Graphs spike erratically as the readout of a heart monitor. Shades mill around this floor, incorporeal and overlapping. They look like ghosts or specters amid all the gray. Mania shies away from one. Gross. It touched me. What are they? Corporations. I told you his realm was just the worst. The shades pay us no attention at all. Their attention focused entirely on the screens of numbers. I can tell they have power and influence over the human world, but they're soulless. I had a piece of pasta in my teeth. Or something. Or possibly a hair. One of them, shaped like a mouse, seems to have more power than the rest. Lucren's red hair stands out against the monotony, and all of the shades seem to gravitate around him. He spots us easily too, though he looks unimpressed when we approach him. What are you doing here? I had my heart-to-heart with Yun, and now it's your turn. Your turn. Turn, even. I didn't know how to reach you, and you stopped answering Mesmeri after last time, so we decided to just show up. I'm busy. Then I'll stay here until you're not. We had a deal, remember? How annoying. But Lucren does wave away some of the shades around him so he can direct his full attention toward us. I'll remind you our deal was that I'd hear you out, that's all. You're not going to change my mind, and you won't get any help from me. Of course, we can't force you to join us. You'll join out of your own volition. Ugh.
You just wait. Just you wait, Lulu. You'll be one of us.
I'd rather die.
Then perish.
Mesmeri, please, we're trying to work together. There's no need for antagonism.
But he deserves it.
Hurry up already. Spout your meaningless drivel at me. Once you're done, I have things that are actually important to do. What is it you're even doing here? What is this place? You're gonna criticize me when you don't even know that much? The mirror said something about commerce and exploitation, but I don't know how objective that information is. I take a guess. Is it the stock market?
Stung?
Mesmeri, if you finish that word, I will sink Twitter's share price.
This is censorship.
Lucren ignores Mesmeri and turns back to me. You're wrong, but it is similar, I suppose. Stock market is simply the limited version that humans can comprehend. He does a slow sweep of the room. Unlike his discomfort in Mesmeri's realm, Lucren seems completely in his element here. This is the world's economy, all of the world's fiscal transactions, every loan and debt, and every good and service circulates through here, and its value is appraised. Corporation shares, commodities, natural resources, private property, labor. One of these things is not like the others. Wait, labor?
Big yikes.
Then these numbers. A lot of them are people. The cost of an hour, a year, or the whole of a human life. You can find out how much 100,000 lives cost here. I told you, everything has its price. And you're the one who determines these prices? I'll pop the bubbles that spring up and invest in gods I have business with, but I'm hardly going to micromanage every little transaction that passes through here. It's a free market. Prices rise and fall to the whims of supply and demand. Maybe for other things, but human lives are priceless. Lucren's expression sours. What an absurd thing to say. I told you before, didn't I, that the bedrock of this realm is sacrifice. Humans are expendable, and anything expendable will have a finite price. They're not even all the same prices. Far from it. Some humans have negative worth. That's what capitalism is. Still want him on your side? I don't get it. How can he stand there and just say these horrible things without feeling anything? Mesmeri didn't understand how she was hurting people until I showed her. Maybe it's the same for Lucren. Lucren, people may just look like numbers here, but they have thoughts and feelings in the real world, just like Mesmeri's followers are real behind a screen. They're humans, not currency. You don't think there's any difference between the two? Not in the slightest. His answer is so immediate, it catches me off guard. I'm not like social media. I don't have a pathological obsession with stalking humans every minute of their lives.
Hey, why the drive-by? Not cool, man.
Don't you care for your followers? Some would say my followers are the least human. Took the words right out of my mouth. It doesn't matter. They use me and I use them. That's the way of gods and humans. Sentimentality is pointless. That way of thinking is the reason everything is falling apart right now. It's why we need something to hold the world together. Lucren sneers. You're planning on just fixing capitalism, is that it? I know it won't be easy, but someone has to. Your assumptions are faulty. You think you can save the world, but you know nothing of it. I know what's happening is wrong. Lucren's eyes narrow. See what I mean? You think you can fix capitalism? Why don't you first tell me what you think capitalism is? Fine. Capitalism is, I know it has to do with the economy, and I know it does a lot of bad things, but how do I actually describe it? Look it up. Ask Mesmeri for help. Ask Mania for help. Don't we not have the mirror anymore? I don't remember. I think we gave it to I think we gave it to him. I think they're... Hello! I think that they probably would be able to help the most. Ask for help! I'd like to phone a friend. Puck, please do not on my couch, thank you. I look toward Mania. They've been around for a long time, so they should know something about economics, right? We're almost saving the internet. We're in the process of saving the internet. Why, isn't it a system where anyone can become rich as long as they work hard and create the best products for everyone using their God-given economic freedom and innovation? Mania bats their eyelashes. Lucren scowls. Don't say such stupid things. So, that's wrong? Of course it is. Only a fool would believe that. Haha, indeed. Then can you just tell me already? There are many reasons that people participate in my system. Money, power, status, materialism, security. Survival. That too. Heart of capitalism is what ties them all together. The heart? Desire. That's what underlies all of capitalism. The market is pulled by the forces of supply and demand. The value of a product is determined by how much people want it, how much they're willing to sacrifice for it. Desire gives rise to ambition, breeding competition over those whose desire is the strongest, and envy. Those without are compelled to move upward or else live forever in resentment. But the purest of all human desires is greed. A dark look passes over Lucren's face. Humans are selfish, that's the truth of it. They want things, but they're unwilling to give anything up, so they gladly sacrifice others for their own gain.
Who'd they learn that from, though?
They've always been that way. Inequality, starvation, corruption, these things existed before capitalism and were far worse than they are now. That's funny. I thought you didn't care about making the world better for humans. Just because things were bad before doesn't mean there aren't problems today. For something to be a problem, it should have a solution. Some have tried getting rid of me in the past. Even that wouldn't fix what humans are at their core. Nothing can. Capitalism is just the only system that's realistic about it. You're wrong. Lucren gives me a look of contempt. What do you know of humans? People just need to understand that it's easier to meet everyone's desires when they all work together. That will never happen. Humans will always prioritize their own desires over a collective one. What do you mean, never? Sometimes all people need is to be shown that something else is possible. If you give them a chance, they may surprise you. As if these two don't know I'm right. Mesmeri counts on human selfishness and vanity, and Mania represents the worst of it. They've never cared about anything but themselves.
Now you're just being mean.
Guilty as charged. I never said they were faultless. They also need to change. We'll all work on these issues together. Glowering, Lucren takes a threatening step towards me. Oh, we're about to get our ass kicked. Such pretty words, but they're all you've got, aren't they? You have no real arguments because you're completely ignorant of how things work. What if, maybe, who knows, the only thing you have is this worthless idealism? Because you don't listen to arguments. You're so stuck in your belief that nothing can change, when the only one who refuses to change is you. Nothing you've said convinces me that it isn't a complete waste of time. This conversation is over. Oh no, did we lose the game? Did we fuck up? But our deal. The deal is off. No, I need him to join us. You're giving up now after we've come this far? Isn't that a waste? Only an idiot would think investment works that way. That mirror isn't worth the cost anymore. Now get out of my tower. Wait. This isn't good. How can I convince him that this matters to him? If the human world is destroyed, the divine realms will fall apart, and that includes yours. Even if you don't care about anyone else, your existence is at stake too. Click the button, please. I told you the world isn't in peril. These are temporary issues that will soon be replaced by another set of issues, and then another.
But it really do be different this time, though. Oceans are rising. A new freak hurricane happens every year. California is just perpetually on fire.
Only one freak hurricane? There's like so many freak hurricanes. Just constantly.
Hello, hello. How about that, Lulu? All of that's definitely on you by BT Dubs.
That's trivial. Humans will always protect themselves. What do you mean? Despite their many flaws, humans are resourceful. Capitalism is an adaptive system. As people's needs and desires change, it will adjust itself. It's
perfectly balanced as all things should be.
Lucren glares at Mesmeri. I don't care for your tone, but yes. In the face of significant threat, their self-preservation will kick in, and they'll do something about it. That sounds good in theory, but there are signs the world is in trouble already, and they aren't doing enough to save it. Soon it will be too late.
Yeah, the clock to stop Earth from becoming a fireball has been ticking for, like, literally my entire life. WTF, Lulu?
I never said that humans would prevent or stop the threat, only that they'd find a way to survive it, or escape it. Yeah, like sending a single asshole into the upper echelons of the atmosphere. Mania makes a noise of understanding. Ah, I see now. How very like you. Wait, I don't get it. You liked your little space programs back then, too, didn't you? Your rivalry with communism was cute. What's he up to these days?
Ooh, that's why you're on an Elon Musk simp?
Oh my god, was this game actually made yesterday and not in March?
Man, his Twitter is so bonkers, LMAO.
Can someone explain to me, what does space have to do with this? I won't claim to know what humans will do in the event of a disaster, but I do know they will find a way to save themselves. Whether that means seeking higher ground, blocking out the sun, or building a ship and leaving their planet behind.
What? He can't be serious.
Even if it means abandoning the rest of their kind to the fire, humans will pay that cost in blood without a thought. And in an emergency, the sacrifice demanded is high. The horror of what Lucren is saying is slowly dawning on me. He had been angry before, but now he delivers the words without any inflection at all, as if he's talking about something innocuous. He shakes his head. You see, this is why capitalism is powerful, why I will persist. You're serious.
Lucren's really out there, thinking the only people who matter are rich people.
Humans decided that, and it works. If anything reaches the point that it threatens the comfort of the ruling class, they'll fix it. Nothing like the primal instinct of self-preservation to tap into human ingenuity. That's not survival, it's criminal. What about people without influence or power? They're the most vulnerable population. They'll die first. They have to establish the threat, notify the upper class. And it fuels progress, motivates people to contribute to society, don't want to end up at the bottom of the heap. That's the system, over and over. I separate the wheat from the chaff. If you want to live, you rise to the top. If not, more fodder for the machine. Classy. Lucren looks away. He doesn't even have the decency to care about what we're talking about. He just says these vile things like they're fact.
Are you saying that poor people deserve to die?
No one deserves anything. Maybe that does sound like a great system to you. Maybe you really believe that everything is as it should be. But it sounds to me like the words of a weakling who's given up on improving the world. What's survival of the fittest, if not the philosophy of cowards terrified when they won't get what they want if they don't take it from someone else? I'm not sure I read that sentence right, but I'm not going to try it again. Some have said that change is nothing. You have a dream it's possible to help everyone, that a system can support its people without conditions or reservation. But you've misidentified the problem. The system doesn't fail people, humans do. No, I'm pretty sure it's the system. For every well-intentioned person, there's someone selfish enough to take advantage of them. That may be true, but it doesn't mean there's no point in doing good. If good people can band together against the bad, if only it were that easy. No matter how many people choose good, no matter how strongly people try to work together, there will always be people chomping at the bit to take advantage of them. Reasonable people will give up altruism to protect themselves. The ones who don't will die. No matter what, against human selfishness, altruism will lose every time. You don't know that happens every time. It's difficult, but it's work worth doing. Such sweet promises you make, but you have to believe your endgame is possible, don't you? Because if you don't, if you're wrong, if humans really are worse than you give them credit for, if you send them into the hornet's nest with only honeyed words and an impossible dream. Lucren trails off. The heavy silence completes the rest of the threat. He's right. Not about humans or anything, but he has a point. I'm playing with fire here. Mesmeri, Lucren, Mania, the ramifications of their powers have wreaked havoc across the worlds. And I'm a god too. I have that power as well. If I wield it too hastily, people will get hurt. So I have to really believe that I can save humans, and that they're worth saving. Feeling unnecessarily cruel today, Lucren.
Yeah, YTA here. You can't hold the possibility of future evil against people trying to make a difference now.
You've all imposed yourself on my domain and insulted my work to my face. None of you have any idea what it's like to make substantive change. I'm not about to take lectures from a shallow, attention-seeking robot or a pretentious freak who cares more about validation than meaningful advancement. Or a coddled ideologue who has never had to fend for themselves before. Well, this pretentious freak doesn't intend to argue with you, Lucrin. Although you are being a little too harsh on Yun, they can't help wanting what's best for the world. We were all naive and idealistic young godlings once. Even you. Have you forgotten?
Lucrin was? Baby Lucrin, please tell me you have hashtag TBT fat pics.
Why did I say facts? What does TBT mean? Oh, Throwback Thursday. That has nothing to do with this. Haha. Back when we were young, the camera had yet to be dreamed of. Then everything you said.
You all lived seriously deprived lives.
When you said altruism always loses.
Like, hashtag first world problems, but how could you even remember anything back then?
And human greed wins, you meant the same way humans have always remembered, with their hearts. Enough. I've stomached enough of this meaningless babble. It's not even half an hour in, and I already am really flubbing a lot of words here. Get out of my tower. Go back to your pathetic, unfulfilling lives of chasing your tails in pursuit of a futile delusion. Lucrin, wait. And stop bothering me. Oh no. I hope we didn't lose somehow by, I don't know, making a wrong dialogue option at some point. Oof.
Ouchies.
He kicked us out.
Dare he? Ooh, next time he comes to my domain to talk about sponsorships, I'm gonna yeet him out of there so hard and see how he likes it.
I didn't even know gods could expel other gods from their realms. I've never seen Imperia do that. We made him really mad, huh? He must have been pretty desperate. I can't imagine that display of wanton power is healthy for his realm. You can feel it too?
Feel what?
The world's pulling apart. It kind of comes and goes, but if you stand right here, it's pretty strong. And I felt it right before Lucrin expelled us. Do you guys think he was right? About humans being too selfish to work together for anything meaningful?
I mean, it sounds a lot like an excuse, so he doesn't have to put in the work to change.
Do you know much about what people are like, Yun? A little. Only from stories.
You're here, right? You must have some tether to the human world.
Imperia said that too, but if I do, I've never felt it. Well, tell us what you've heard anyway. I've always thought that most people are
selfish or good.
Okay, I am a hopeless optimist, and I do kind of believe that most people are good. Even though most of the people we hear about are assholes. But that's why we hear about them, because they're assholes. It's like the whole, like, you know, the loud vocal minority of any group. Like, it's the loud ones who are the loudest. So even if they are not the majority of that group, they're the ones that we hear about the most. So I think most people are good, but it's just that the assholes are loud. So I'm not going to go with selfish. I think most people are good. Sure, there's evil and corruption in the world, but at the end of the day, most people try to do what's right. It isn't their fault that it's hard to know what that is. Right? Like, her dress is really cute. She really grew on me. Imperia told you that. No? I can't remember where I heard that from. I've always felt it. I see. How simple. You think Lucrin is right? Of course not. The issue with saying people are good or people are selfish is that everyone is different. No matter what your belief is, there's someone who proves you right and someone who proves you wrong. All statements like that do is provide justification for when you already know what you want to do.
So it all comes down to Lulu not admitting he's wrong because he'd have to admit he's been problematic this entire time. Clown face.
Easy to be cruel to people if you say they're irredeemable first. I suppose that makes sense. People aren't all bad and people aren't all good.
Does that mean Lulu isn't all bad either?
No, I'm pretty sure capitalism is just straight up evil. I don't know, but if everyone has the capacity to be good, then that should be true for Lucrin too.
TIL. Then we just gotta figure out how to prove that people aren't all selfish. Then he wouldn't have a reason to punish them.
You're being awfully helpful today, Miss Miri. Don't you hate Lucrin?
Yeah, but if he can become better.
Better? Are we talking about capitalism here? Union busting, prison labor, human rights violations, environmental damage, and class exploitation? Mania puts on a vapid smile. Totally a bad look. Not good optics. Ugh. Mania talked, but Mesmeri's voice came out.
I don't sound anything like that. Here's you. Oh, I'm so old that I think every newfangled god who comes along must be some trivial fad. I only care about real things that matter, like side parts and what children call yoga pants. Also, I don't have anything of substance to contribute, so I just laugh at everything. Ha ha!
Ah, yes, your contributions just thus far have been very substantial.
You're not even here to help us, so why don't you just crawl back to your hidey hole and go away?
That doesn't sound like #unity to me.
Guys, stop it.
They're both being assholes. Mania's messing with you. Mesmeri's trying her best. He's being an asshole. Ow. I love the little glitch effect on her, too. It's so cute. She's adorable. Don't mind Mania, Mesmeri. They're just trying to rile you up.
I know. I just don't get why we're, no.
Yeah, I don't really get the plot either. Like, we're all doing our best. Something about the world falling apart, so all of the gods are coming together. Well, not all of the gods are coming together, but the god that we are was sent out to find these three assholes to try to fix the world or something. It's weird. I don't know.
I know. I just don't know why we're even working with them. They don't care about unity. They're just here for the clout.
Please, I'm not you. You and Lucrin place too much stock in your artificial currency systems. Mania, did you mean it when you said Lucrin used to be like me? I'm not sure they said that. They just said that they and him used to be not assholes. Sure, he had a different name back then, and it wasn't called capitalism either. The word doesn't exist yet. It was the barter system. But it wasn't that long ago in the scheme of things. He's not as young as Mesmeri, but he's hardly a cornerstone god. The world was fine before he was there. It'll probably be fine without him, too. I'm just worried that if Lucren started out like me and became like that, couldn't the same thing happen to me? It's entirely possible. You and he are very alike. We both have hair, and we wear jackets.
I don't think you two are alike. Lulu gave up on helping anyone but himself. But you're Unity. As long as you don't give up, you'll never become like him.
I mean, really, anyone can become like anyone else. And that could be a good thing or a bad thing. I know, I'm the only one who can bring the world together. I can't give up. I do believe in people too, so why do I feel uneasy? What is it I don't know? Maniac, can I ask you a question? It depends on what it is. I won't look and believe us. You don't think the world needs... kind of want to ask both of these things. Won't he believe us? You don't think the world needs... Also, I don't know if, like, there's any... If there are, like, separate endings, like, if somehow choosing wrong things will, like, get a, oh no, you destroyed the world ending, or if everything kind of leads up to the same thing and it's all the telltale diamond storytelling. I'll go with that one. When you say the world will be fine without Lucren...
Society has progressed past the need for Lulu.
I'm being serious, Mesmeri. Crude as usual, but for once not wholly inaccurate.
Crude? I am catchy and succinct.
Wait, society has progressed? Are they saying... It happens. Gods are formed, and eventually they fade.
Or get eaten.
But Lucren's still powerful. Imperia said he was one of the strongest gods. That's why he's able to do so much damage. Now, perhaps. But it's not, pardon my language, the end of the world if it doesn't work out for him. He isn't the first god whose arrogance will bring about his own demise. He won't be the last. Countless gods before him have risen and fallen, some by Lucren's own hand. I've seen it happen myself. And I've warned him about it before, but it seems gods can't conceptualize their own irrelevancy. What about the god of irrelevancy? Wouldn't they be able to?
Wow, that's one for the Self-Burn Hall of Fame.
Lucren is dying. I don't want that. Well, I do, so that makes exactly one of us, kid. Doesn't it solve your problem pretty neatly? He's causing trouble for us. Soon he won't be able to.
But that's not a real solution.
If Lucren's decline makes things worse for humans, we can't say these people's suffering is worth it, so later on the world can be rid of capitalism. Or we can just stab him. And that way we don't have to wait. There's no easy way to save the world in a way that matters. It'll be hard, but we need to make sure that we're helping everyone.
Yeah, we can't be profiting off people's lives. That's what Lulu does, and he's wrong for it.
Perhaps people will suffer if Lucren dies, but no more than if he continues as he does. I'm just saying, if he refuses to change, what would be the most human thing to do? What do you mean someone woke up and chose violence today? I wake up and choose violence every day. If that's all true, then how could you say that Lucren and I are similar? Ha, is that what's been bothering you? I don't think you're evil or anything. It's what you said earlier, that you've never felt any connection to the human world. Mesmeri and I do, even when you're younger and weaker than Yoon is now. Wasn't that the case, Mesmeri?
We don't talk about that. It was just a phase.
You mentioned it when we first met, Mesmeri, that you could feel all of your followers.
I guess I did.
Is there something wrong with me? I wonder. But there is one thing that makes you different from us. Unity does not exist. Sure it does. Video games. Make engine. Humans have identity and social media, but there has never been unity. Not on Earth, not in the past, not even here. So when you came to me, I wondered what kind of deity you must be to have no dominion, and no domain.
But humans come together to fix stuff all the time. Like, just off the top of my head, the UN, democracy, global charities, general worship for Queen Bey. All of Instagram totally banded together around an egg, but go off. Maybe you don't see it because all you do is divide people.
At best, those things aspire to unity, but true unity, the kind Yoon desires, is still just a dream. That's what Lucren sees. Oh, then Lucren... His idea of capitalism, a world where the rich have earned their wealth and the poor can grind their way to the top, it's a dream. People aspire to it, but it doesn't exist, not like Lucren wants it to. You are gods who are chasing after an ideal. What you do in that pursuit will determine the kind of god you are. I need to talk to him again. Sure does seem like he doesn't want to talk to you, though. His realm is still locked down.
Oh, I can get you in. He's been relying a lot on my mom for recent ventures, so I have a few back doors into his tower.
That would be amazing. Does Lucren know that you can just let yourself into his realm at your leisure?
I may have snuck in before to conduct serious business, and he may or may not suspect such portals exist, but there's no way he'll find them, so it's totally secure.
I'm not sure how much we should be going out of our way to aggravate Lucren right now, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Well, sure. I don't have anything better to do.
Great. Now strap in.
This one is proving to be much longer than the other one was, I think. Ms. Mary grabs us by the wrists and pulls her back into digitalization's realm. Oh, we're back on the beach. I always get a bad feeling when I have to come here. You don't like it, Mania? I guess it's better than Mesmeri's place.
Oh my god, you're just a hater. And to think I'm helping you two out.
It is interesting. It's interesting and weird. Puck, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
We appreciate you a bunch, and you're so amazing and beautiful and such an inspiration.
Heart, heart, heart. The portal's over here.
She skips off happily. I see you're getting the hang of how Mesmeri ticks. I like her. She's simple. Ugh. Okay, this one's mean, but, like... I always worry whenever a video game has an option of being like, oh yeah, I like this person, that they mean it like, well, you're now going to romance them. When it's like, no, I just think that they're neat. You know what? Fuck it. I like her. She's the best. Like, they're kind of a jerk sometimes, even though I did initially like their design the best at first. So, if we're gonna romance anyone, I guess we'll romance the cute girl. I didn't mean to manipulate her or anything. I just think she's interesting and fun. I like it when she smiles. Oh my god, our character is so innocent. They're so naive and I love them. She says a lot of cool things I don't know a lot about too, and that's pretty neat. And, yeah. Are you just teasing me? I haven't said anything.
Hurry up, slowpokes.
Mesmeri, that thing you're standing next to, is that the portal?
Yup, this baby will take us through the cryptocurrency markets and right up to the stock floor. It's completely unregulated space, so we'll slip right by Lulu's defenses.
I think Yoon means to ask if the portal is safe.
No idea.
Somehow that doesn't make me feel better. Do your worst, I guess.
Whee!
With a squeal, Mesmeri hurls herself into the portal and vanishes. I could actually feel my throat threatening to crack when I tried to do that, so I really had to curb it down. Mania glances at me. Ready? Yeah. Taking a sip of tea when I thought I could.
Ah ha 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 ha!
This world, it's... Okay, and we're back here again. Oh my gosh. I don't know how to say that with my mouth. Can we only speak in emojis right now?
Why are you guys making those faces?
I still can't feel my body. I never imagined there would be a place worse here than the 4chan pit.
Of course you would say that. Crypto isn't that bad, guys.
I touched one of those things, and I'm not sure what actually happened, but is this what humans call blacking out? Those things must just sap energy. You're probably more susceptible, too, being relatively new.
Y'all are weak. That was only a Bitcoin. You should see an NFT.
Oh, please don't. No.
But we managed to make it through into the den of the beast.
The room hasn't changed since we were here last, 5 minutes ago. The corporations ignore us, absorbed in their work. Looks like Lucren left.
My guess is he's in his office. We might be able to get the jump on him. I bet he thinks because he closed his realm, he doesn't have anything to worry about anymore.
Mesmeri stops in her tracks, eyes wide as saucers. Mesmeri? She just seems to be staring out onto the stock floor. None of the corporations are actually paying us any attention.
I bet he didn't even put up any security measures in his place. I mean, why would he? As far as Lulu knows, no one can get in without his permission. I could do anything I want in here.
Ah, R.I.P., as the Netzians say. Mesmeri, we need you to help us convince Lucren.
That's what Mania is here for. Plus, Lulu doesn't even link me, so by not being there, it's kind of like I'm helping out.
Her voice is actually doing a lot of strain on my voice.
Plus, I bet I could do a lot of good out here, too.
But... Wait, Mesmeri. She's already gone. Well, that was about as helpful as I expected her to be. Maybe it's even better if she isn't here. Lucren hates her, and so does my throat. Yeah, but we were supposed to confront him together. That's what happens when you rely on social media. She isn't really on your side. Aww. Aw, our poor character. They're in love. Or at least they have a crush. Come on, Yoon. Lucren's waiting. Yeah. Lucren's office is on the top floor of his tower, which is so high above the other buildings I can only see their spires through the glass on the far end of the room. Lucren stands from his desk so suddenly his chair screeches. His expression is thunderous. You insignificant, annoying, pathetic little... He's angry. He's so angry that his fists are trembling, knuckles white, and I can feel the energy in the room crackle. I had heard about gods in the past smiting their enemies. I wouldn't put it past Lucren right now either. So I don't waste time. I smite him first and save the world. I think I understand now why people worship capitalism. Lucren stills, caught off guard. For a brief moment, the frenetic pressure falters. You said before that capitalism is about desire, and maybe you're right that desire can propel people to be selfish and greedy. But I also think that the soul of capitalism, it's not so different from hope. People want to believe that a better future exists for them. That no matter their circumstance, anything is possible. That if you have a dream and pursue it, you'll be rewarded. A system where the poor can become rich if they put forth the effort. And the rich must act must act in accordance with people's demands or else be unseated, where competition lifts people up instead of tearing them down, and everyone gets exactly what they deserve. So I understand, those who worship capitalism want to believe that the world is fair and good. I can't fault them for it. Lucren hasn't stopped glaring at me, but I catch the briefest glimpse of his brow furrowing. His shoulders have risen in defensive suspicion. Where is this coming from all of a sudden? Mania told me about you when you were young. Lucren shoots a venomous look at Mania. And they probably laugh. You traitor. Please, I'm not on anybody's side. You were the same as me. I was a fool who knew nothing of the world, so in that capacity, yes, maybe we were a little similar. He speaks through gritted teeth. Is that why you get so angry at me? What is this ridiculous psychoanalysis? My past has nothing to do with this. I barely remember anything of that time, it was so long ago. If there's one thing Ms. Murray's right about, it's that lingering in the past is pointless. Why do you look so bothered by it then? Because you broke into my office and started spouting nonsense at me. I should throw you out again right now. Fine, but only if you answer my question first. If it really means nothing to you, that shouldn't be a problem, right? Mania said you weren't always called capitalism. I want to know what were you called back then? I don't remember. You're lying. I was a different person back then. May as well try looking into the memories of a stranger. Is that really true, or did you forget on purpose? Well, I remember. We both look toward Mania. Lucren's expression is unreadable. He doesn't say a word. Tell me. There was once a young godling who dreamed of a world of possibility, who took chances and gave them, who always saw people not for what they were, but what they could be. He toppled a system of power for being unjust and thought himself a savior. The god of opportunity. But opportunity turned into opportunism, and then to capitalism. Now look at what he's become. Lucren won't look at Mania, and he especially won't look at me. We were the same. Are you finished humiliating me? You used to believe in a better world, too. And now I don't. That's the end of my story, and it'll be the end of yours as well. The jab is empty. There's no venom behind his words now, just a deep-seated bitterness. Lucren, look at me. Are we gonna make the power of friendship save the world? I think you still care, even if you lie to yourself. You do want the world to be better, otherwise you wouldn't be this unhappy that it's not. It doesn't matter what I want. Of course it does. You said yourself, capitalism is a system based on desire. Yet another reason it's broken. Sometimes people want things that are impossible. Then you admit, thought my system was so elegant that one that considered everyone's desires and adapted with them, built on fair exchange and fair opportunity. As you said, a system where people get exactly what they deserve. But it was broken from the start. There's no such thing as a perfect system for a world that is imperfect, and humans are far worse than imperfect. They're dumbasses. They turned my system into one that's hardly different from the one I deposed. That was what they wanted all along. Nothing has changed. The only way my system works is if the world does end as you say it will, because that will be what humans deserve. Not all of them. Again with this blind faith. It's not just faith, I'll prove it to you, that humans are worth believing in, that you weren't wrong for believing in them. I'm here to save the world, and that includes you. I know you haven't completely let go of your dream. Just forget about what you think is possible or impossible. You said the heart of capitalism is desire, didn't you? Then tell me what it is you actually want, Lucren, what your true desire is. I want one of those big fluffy sharks from IKEA. I want... The silence fills up the whole room. For you to leave me alone. Lucren keeps his head bowed. Unlike when he threw us out before, his voice is very quiet. His heart is still closed off. I thought I could get through to him, but I don't know if I can get him to budge any further. It seems like he still needs to process everything. Okay, we'll leave. I'll give you time to think. But I haven't given up on you. I'll come back, and when I do, I want to hear your real answer. Lucren doesn't react to my words, but when I lay Empyrea's mirror on top of the desk, he flinches. What are you doing? We had a deal, didn't we? You listened to us and participated in our conversation, even though you didn't want to. So the mirror is yours. But I called off our deal. This is unnecessary. It doesn't matter. I said I would give you the mirror if you cooperated with us. And I always intend to follow through on my word. And I always intend to follow through on my words. Just like I intend to speak them properly without messing up. Let's go, Mania. Mania has been silent for a long time, but when I turn to them, their characteristic smile quickly reappears. Oh, well, it was a good effort, but I told you from the beginning, didn't I? Getting him to change is impossible. Let's just go. Wait. Lucren calls out right before I can step over the threshold. When I turn around, he looks surprised at himself. Yes? I don't know what's wrong with me today. Hungry? Eat a Snickers. He runs a hand through his hair, muttering to himself, before finally meeting my eyes. Let me say first that I still don't entirely believe you. What you propose is almost inconceivable to me. I know too much about the worst humanity has to offer to be swayed by a few pretty words and a promise that humans can change. Nothing changes so quickly. And I still think you're foolish, naive, and honestly quite annoying. That was unnecessary. But I acknowledge now that you aren't just empty words. You're sincerely committed to this ideal of yours. At least, I can't think of another reason you'd try so hard to convince me. Then, does that mean I will take a chance on you? It's a very slim chance. Your odds of actually being able to change humanity are next to zero, I'd say. But if you really believe you can do it, if it's remotely possible that you can create a world where my system can work as it was intended, I don't know if I can believe in humans, but for now, I will believe in you. Lucren, maybe I'll regret this later, but there's no such thing as investment without risk. I still believe that, at least. Are you calling me a risky investment? Should I take that as a compliment? Don't look so happy. I said that your odds of changing humanity are next to zero. My odds can't be that bad. I managed to change your mind, didn't I? I guess you did. A little bit. For a very brief moment, I think I see a rueful smile on Lucren's lips, but it quickly vanishes when Mania clears their throat. Well, I admit I didn't expect this development. I suppose it's my turn to host next, isn't it? Yes, now that all three of you are on board, we can start to actually come up with the plan. Though we've made big strides getting Mizmiri and especially Lucren on board, I'm aware that we've only just reached the starting point with regards to fixing the world. It's time to move on to action. Now that we're all on the same side, we can finally start to change things. I wouldn't speak too soon. What do you mean? You said you'd work with us, didn't you? Yeah, are you changing your mind already? You'll break Yoon's heart. Lucren regards Mania warily. I may have put some faith into them, but that doesn't mean I trust you. Me? I'm offended. Haven't you been the resistant one? Can you really look me in the eye and say you have no angle for being here? I already said I'd host Yoon's next meeting. I know a nice place where we can have a drink and chat, and you can air whatever qualms you may have. I'm grateful, Mania. I'm sure we can talk through the issues between you and Lucren. Lucren shoots me an annoyed glance, which isn't unusual, but there's some meaning behind it that I can't interpret. Finally, he sighs. Fine, we'll see what truth comes to light. See you there, Lucren. Or maybe I won't. You've still got time to change your mind. Mania turns to leave, and Lucren glares at them as they go. Don't mind them, Lucren. I want you to be there. Lucren trails off. I wait for him to finish, but he just shakes his head. I'll go. I want to hear what Mania has to say, and since I'm investing in you, I'll do what's in my capacity to help. Thank you. You should go after Mania. I don't want you getting lost trying to leave this tower. Bye, Lucren. I promise the chance you took on me will pay off. Goodbye, Yoon. I hurry after Mania. I wonder what Lucren meant about Mania. But whatever it is, I'm sure we can work past it. That's what happened with Mesmeri and Lucren, and now I have both of them on my side to help me. Together we can do this. Just one left. Part 4. The Dark Face of the Gods. Ooh. The streets of Mania's realm are lively as ever. Colorful buildings bring a hypnotic vibrancy to the otherwise blocky architecture, and fascinating new godlings snag my eye everywhere I look. Come to think of it, Mania says they represent the self. Are these all the selves humans can have? There'd be a lot of furries if so.
Yoon! Can't believe you got Lulu to help us. Not gonna lie, I kind of thought he might smite us all, but it's a miracle.
I mean, there were moments I worried, but I'm just kind of adding words. I just knew he would listen. You don't get that angry at the world without wanting it to be better. Speaking of Lucren, where is he?
Oh, he's sulking, LMAO.
Sulking? Mesmeri surveys the array of buildings before pointing at Lucren, tucked against a decorative alcove. His meticulous hair and muted suit matched the fashion of his tower, but amidst the throngs of godlings, he's almost unnoticeable. Oh, he does look mad. Why don't we just flirt with literally everyone? That'll look good on our resume. I'm kind of worried that we might end up dead. Oh no. Looks like there's still a non-zero chance to get smited.
LMAO, wouldn't be fun if there wasn't.
Is something the matter? Lucren opens his mouth, but he seems to be having difficulty locating words in his fury. He really hates bright colors. Let me admit that I am not fully on board with this vision yet. Gods are selfish, and humans even more so. But I agreed to cooperate with your little group on the basis of a, shall we say, newfound common ground between us. I'm very grateful for that, Lucren. Please don't interrupt me. Lucren holds up his hand as he gathers his thoughts again. Knowing that, why? Why did you leave that pest in my domain? Pest? Mesmeri playfully bonks herself on the head while giggling.
Oopsies!
Mesmeri? After sneaking us into Lucren's tower, she'd disappeared so quickly we weren't sure where she'd gone, and when we came down after meeting with Lucren, we couldn't find you anywhere when we were leaving, so Mania said you'd probably gotten bored and gone home on your own.
I did go home eventually, but I was helping in my own way.
Lucren grits his teeth. Oh god, what did she do? She got into all my systems, she managed to disable search engine ads, and that shouldn't even be possible.
I was just trying to help Yoon.
Millions in revenue gone in an instant. Do you know how long it'll take Google to recover? I'm sure it'll be fine. Google owns like half the world.
Like 5 minutes?
I'm really sorry about that, Lucrin. I'm sure Google will be fine. Mesmeri, Lucrin's on our side now, so you can't just go and sabotage him.
But I wasn't.
I mean, it might.
It was my bee this time, but I thought Lulu would just go all eject 2 electric boogaloo on us, so I figured it wouldn't hurt anyone to get a little bit of leverage.
I am going to bankrupt one of your apps again.
No, you already let TikTok eat music LY.
I don't know what that means. Mesmeri, we went to talk to Lucrin for a reason, remember? We want to work together, not against each other. That means listening and compromise.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lulu. You can have the stuff I took back.
You took stuff? We're starting over on a clean slate, guys. With Lucrin here, all 4 of us can finally sit down and start strategizing.
But we haven't had one of these therapy sessions for Mania yet.
What do you mean, therapy session?
You know, when you, like, inspire us and stuff, you came to my world and you really opened my eyes with all that talk about what actually connects and divides us. And you snapped tall, hot, and broody here out of his Darth Vader phase, and now he's almost tolerable to be around.
Do not call me that.
So, aren't you gonna do the same thing to Mania?
I don't know. I feel like they've been pretty helpful so far. I mean, there's work to be done, but we're trying to get all the gods to work together, and that'll probably take a while. I think we've made great progress. Why? Do you think there'll be a problem? So far, we've had nothing but problems from literally everyone we've spoken to.
IDK, old people don't really like change, do they?
Gods like Mania don't play nice with others. Because this one does, clearly. I didn't think Mania didn't seem that difficult to get along with, but Imperia listed them for a reason, and if both Mesmeri and Lucrin think so, well, we should hear Mania's side of the story before making judgment. Have either of you been to this bar they mentioned? Lucrin's eyebrow twitches. I think he's trying to refrain from making a face. Of course not. The less time I spend here, the better. Mania says my corporations are soulless, but look at these creatures. They have nothing, no worth at all. He sends a withering glare at a pair of godlings squatting in the street, exchanging illustrated cards from ornate decks.
I don't think they're that bad. Neat that everything looks a little different. I guess just kind of boring after a while. It suits Mania, though.
I look around at the crowded street again. It still amazes me how many different kinds of gods are here, but Mesmeri and Lucrin filled their worlds with things they love, things that give them power. This world has a little bit of everything in it. You two have known Mania for a long time, right? Do you know what they want? One of those giant IKEA sharks. That's what everyone wants.
To be left alone, get off my lawn, that kind of thing?
For as long as I've known them, they don't really involve themselves in the affairs of other gods. I don't know what was different for them this time. I suspect we'll be finding out soon. Mesmeri guides us through the back alleys until we reach a low-key establishment away from the bustle of the main street. Oh look, it's Applebee's.
Here we are!
Ugh, it's crowded. While the bar is by no means vacant, I wouldn't have described it as crowded, especially coming off the streets where their numbers seem endless. The bar's patrons are just animated. They jostle each other and mingle freely. When the music changes, a few gods whoop in recognition. The lights are dim and everyone has a different drink in hand. There are stairs leading to an upper level, but all the patrons seem content where they are. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it's comfortable here. So you came. Of course we did. You invited us, didn't you? Wasn't sure. Thought Mr. Monopoly over here might chicken out. Why do you keep saying that? I made an agreement with them and I keep my end of the deals. I suppose so. Pity you've spent the past how many centuries showboating, but it seems you're softer than you give yourself credit for. Lucren narrows his eyes. Mania.
Oop, and the bitch comes out.
Sorry, Yoon. I played along for a laugh, but this is as far as I go, unfortunately. Were Lucren and Mesmeri right? You're gonna resist me too after all this time? Why did they bother, helping, and then they're just gonna be like, you know what, actually, fuck you. I guess I just never thought you'd get this far. Is this the fate of all gods, to cling desperately to power, even if it means the world continues to suffer? Please, let's talk this through. You've listened to everything with Mesmeri and Lucren. You know things can't continue like this. Mania shrugs. Perhaps, but my answer is still no. You can stay for drinks if you'd like, but I'm afraid you won't be able to change my mind. I kind of like this song that's starting. I feel like we're about to just have a fight right now. We're about to just duke it out in the middle of Applebee's. There's no way I'm giving up now.
Huh, Puck? Yeah, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight.
Make Mania listen, ask Mesmeri to compel Mania, ask Lucren to taunt Mania. So far, I think our person our little dude has been pretty good at getting people to listen just by being a plucky shonen action hero. And using the power of friendship to get their way. So we're gonna try that at this time. Just as Mania starts to walk away, I grab them by the wrist. And they're like, oh, don't touch me. Well, if you wanted to dance, you only needed to ask. You know what we want. Tell me something. Do you think these two chumps would have ever lifted a finger to change had you not dragged them kicking and screaming here? Would you have if an authority figure hadn't put the idea into your head? Of course, everyone is working toward a better world. If that were true, you wouldn't have had to work so hard with just the three of us. They have good intentions. I just have to... Do you think I have good intentions? Of course, or I don't know. They got real shady, real fast. But they were kind of always a little deceptively helpful. Whoa, that was a bright light right in my window. Oh yeah, they're totes evil. I guess I'll go with I don't know. I don't know, but I want to. I think I went with I don't know, mostly because I forgot the question. So be it. Let's talk then. And lay to rest this dream of yours. Mania gestures at an empty spot at the counter of the bar before going on ahead.
I can't believe after everything they said about me and Lulu, Mania's acting like that.
Are you ready, Yoon? Yeah. Mania's wrong. This isn't just my dream anymore. Lucren and Mesmeri see it too. There are only 2 open bar stools at the spot Mania picked out. Mesmeri claims one without hesitation, spinning the seat back and forth as she stares Mania down on the opposite side. You sit. Lucren props an elbow on the counter on the other side of the remaining stool. Refreshments? We have everything here. fattening us up before the feast. Just making sure my guests are comfortable. I've never had a drink before. Oh, we're like 7 days old. We're not old enough to drink. I guess it is a bar, though.
I want a unicorn bubble tea.
No sooner has Ms. Murray finished speaking than a brightly pigmented drink topped with whipped cream appears on the counter. I can see dark pearls collecting at the bottom of the clear cup. That doesn't look like alcohol. What kind of drinks does Mania serve here?
Yes, the gradient.
She turns the drink, admiring it, but doesn't drink it. Lucren? Nothing from me. Oh, you're just gonna stand around being the only one without a drink? Isn't your whole thing not doing what everyone else does? Mania holds their hands up in surrender. Whatever, just a coffee, black. With Enway or without? Lucren wrinkles his nose. Without. What about you, Yoon? Unicorn tea, ambrosia, ocean water. I'll have what you're having. Oh yeah, we'll just have a call back to the other one. Let's go with ambrosia. Is that the only drink you know? Kind of. Gods all used to drink it, right?
Not all of them. It's kind of a basic order, lol, but it's cute for you.
It's none of your business what Yoon wants to drink. Mania hums and summons an ornate glass bottle. There's a purple ribbon tied around the neck. Cheers! Another drink appears in their raised hand.
Cheers!
We came here to verbally abuse each other, remember?
No, that's the opposite of unity and cooperation. We're here to rehabilitate Mania.
Cheers. At least their hearts are in the right place. Kind of. I take a sip of my drink. It's poison. Food of the gods indeed. The ambrosia is thick and warm, tasting of syrup and sunshine and honeysuckle and sea salt. Now that we've all settled, we have business to discuss. Mania? Mania holds up a hand to stop Lucren, but in the ensuing silence, they just lean over the counter and savor their drink. We are enemies now, no? What? Of course not. Don't I stand in opposition to you? Well...
We may be on opposite ends of the discourse, but we can still be mutuals. That's the whole reason we want to talk.
I should throw you out of my realm and lock the boundaries as Lucren did. Or you should scorn me, denounce me as the antithesis to the righteous cause you stand for. And yet we can sit here and enjoy a brief pick-me-up in relative peace. Why do you suppose that's possible? Because you let us, there is no reason. Well, let's see. So, their whole thing is that their, like, identity and their, like, individuality. So, technically, in a way, that means that they can't be unity because everyone is different. But that's kind of what brings people together, is all being different. So, I'm just gonna go with there is no reason. Like, technically, yeah, they are letting us. They're not throwing us out. But... I'm gonna go with that one. I'm gonna be ballsy. I'm not sure. Is there a significance to having drinks together? We just sat down and ordered, that's all. Haha. Yes, it is rather simple when you put it like that. The reason I can't join you is tied to the law of this realm. Yoon, I asked you what identity was. Do you remember what I said then? You said it represents the self? In a way, all gods do. Social media, the desire to stand out among the flock, to be admired. Capitalism, the desire for security and comfort and the satisfaction of having earned it. Just as Mesmeri's domain is rooted in digitalization's realm and Lucran has his financial sector, this realm is also built on the back of something far greater than any of us. Have you heard of the goddess Eleutheria? I don't remember Imperia ever mentioning her.
If she's your parent, she must be ancient.
She doesn't have an entry in the She doesn't have an entry in the mirror. And that doesn't surprise me. She's much older than we can imagine. Older than a lot of the gods who are no longer around, too. Her domain stands for liberty. From it sprung pleasure, fortune, convention, anarchy, absurdism, conspiracy, and identity. It's because of this domain that we're able to sit here and talk, that we're at liberty to do anything we want at all. All the other gods here, there's some strange ones out there, huh? Any aspect of human identity, human pride, human personality, they exist freely here. You've done very well, Yoon. Exceptionally well to get this far. But it's the end of the road. Humans need my power more than they need unity. Shocking, and you called me arrogant. Some humans search their entire lives for an identity to be proud of, and when they find it, they'll protect it at any cost, because they know the suffering of being denied it. So your objection is, could you be proud of something everyone else shares? Identity disappears in unity.
That's kind of BS, though, because people don't just choose to treat people who are different from them with peace and civility. A lot of times they just hate on each other.
That may be true, such as the paradox of choice. Freedom to exist in peace and freedom to exist in conflict. All this time, you've listened to everything Mesmeri, Lucran, and I have said, and you just didn't care? You never believed in it? As I said before, this has never been anything more than something to fill the time. If these two have found the experience enriching, then I'm glad for them. You were able to change their minds because they are young, and as gods, they are flawed.
Okay, Boomer.
Doubly rich coming from you. You have clear incentive to uphold the status quo. No wonder the same issues keep plaguing humanity with you representing them. You are free to believe that. Mania, I just don't get it. What do you mean freedom to exist in conflict? You're saying that because people deserve to be free, they should be allowed to hurt each other? Everything has an opposite. For an identity to have value, it must be juxtaposed against an outgroup. Isn't that right, Mania? You would know best, wouldn't you? Or have you managed to stamp out communism yet? You... Lucran? It's nothing, Yoon. Mania has to resort to insults because they know their domain is indefensible. On the contrary, you and Mesmeri needed to defend yourselves to Yoon because you provide only superficial unity to the world. Humans need identities. I have nothing I need to prove. Please, Mania, if you know we can't change your mind, then there's no harm in going along with us, right? Mania takes a long, slow sip of their drink. Very well. Lucran is right. Identity necessitates an outgroup. People want to feel seen and heard, and they cannot do that in uniformity. There are 8 billion people in the world now. That is a number so large that no human can even fathom how expendable their lives are. To say nothing of all the humans who are no longer living. 8 billion? I'm pretty sure last time I checked in with Imperia it was only 600 million. I had no idea. We gods, by our nature, are unique. Can you imagine 8 billion gods of unity, all running around trying to be the one to save the world? She's really growing on me. Ugh, why would you even speak that into existence? It wouldn't be so bad if that many gods were trying, then we'd certainly succeed. Perhaps. You could have stayed in your little corner of Empyrea's realm forever, and some other unity would have come and befriended Mesmeri and Lucren in your place. No one would have ever known about you. Every day, humans wake up and check their social media feeds and see tens of hundreds of other humans more beautiful, more successful, more talented. They go to work where the system beats it into them that they can be replaced, that they must prove their value, but that value will never be greater than their employer's profit. That is the insurmountable wall humans crash against over and over. What is the point in doing anything when in your absence someone else will take your place? The answer that they have come up with is individuality. That they have similarities, but the exact intersection of all their beliefs, interests, talents, emotions, and culture is unique. That is identity. We aren't asking to erase those things and make all humans the same. Even if humans have differences, they should still be able to work together for a common cause, right? They all share a world. They should unite around it. Theoretically, that should be the case, but it clearly hasn't happened. Mania, would you care to enlighten Yun as to why not? I don't mind, but I suspect we all have different theories. The reason humans don't work together well. Powerlessness, ignorance, selfishness, there's nothing stopping them. I mean, it's kind of a little of everything. Like, people are real dumb. Like, even when they're not, people can be real stupid. One second, I have to get my cat out of the laundry basket. Puppy baby, what are you doing? What are you doing, goofball? What? What are you doing in there? Okay, fine, whatever, you can sleep. Puck has crawled into a laundry basket that I still have out here in this room that I haven't put away yet. And he just like crawled underneath one of the towels that's in there, and he's so cute. He's literally the cutest cat in the world. Let's see. What is stopping people from working together? It's kind of a little of everything and also nothing. So I think I'm gonna go with that because it's far too complex of an answer for there to be one answer. I don't know why. I can think of a few things that could stop some people from doing the right thing, but there's so many people who should be able to. There are people out there trying to help. This kind of thing trends all the time, so I think the movement is out there, and it comes down to whether they know how to be effective. Don't give too much credit to those performative activists. They don't care about making change, they just want to make a career out of looking good. Lily Bean. And you shouldn't dismiss people who offer help. Of course, no one is going to do anything if we attack anyone who steps up. Well, the actual reason is irrelevant. We're here to convince Mania, so it only matters what they think. Lily Bean. Lily is now on my lap, being very annoying, because that's what she does best. Hi, Lily Bean. I don't see why my opinion matters. I believe people should be able to do anything they choose to. I would never get in their way. Even when people choose to do horrible stuff? Are you saying that the reason people can't work together is just because they don't want to? That is the disgusting underside of the realm built on complete freedom. Lucren scoffs. Mania has never Mania has never interfered with the affairs of the gods or the affairs of people. Say what you will about my domain or Mesmeri's, at least we run them. Mania wouldn't let a human claim anything is valid so long as they felt empowered by it. For some people, it's all they have.
But we aren't talking about those people. It's great that people are different, but come on, white lives matter, not all men. I stand with JKR.
Oof. Yeah, those are all bad.
Huh, Lily Bean?
Yeah. Got your collar all fucked up. You platform those people, Mesmeri.
They may be all over Twitter, but they suck because of you. What am I supposed to do except section them off so most people don't have to see them?
Wait, what are you all talking about? What does hashtag mean?
Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed for you, Yoon. They're like words people on Twitter use in support of some of Mania's identities.
Using the loosest possible definition of support, Mania lifts their hands as if to say, what can you do? Do you know what they mean? It's no great secret. Humans are capable of great violence, and there's no shortages of reasons to wield it. Sometimes the reason is profit, sometimes it's vengeance. Sometimes it's that someone else is a little different.
A little more than just sometimes.
These identities, created in pursuit of prejudice, claim to celebrate identity, but their so-called support is predicated on the oppression of others. That is the end result of a world that takes pride in traits specifically because not everyone shares them. Lily, can you, get your claws out of my leg, please? That'd be super. Humans cut each other down to get ahead. Identity is just another weapon, and history has proven it to be an effective one. Mania, you knew about this and did nothing? What could I do?
Cringe.
Can't we just get rid of the bad identities then? And keep the good ones? Oh, you tiny sweet summer child. It doesn't work that way. Humans already handle feeling invalidated poorly. If I took that away from them, what, the worst actors among them, people who need to feel superior to others? Do you think those people would just sit down and give up that power? No, the identity itself doesn't matter. What matters is what it does for people. Take it away and those people will find another reason to distinguish themselves again. Then why don't we stop having those people base their identities around arbitrary things they have no control over? Then they can start to distinguish themselves with what they create or accomplish, things that matter. Huh, but nothing really matters, Lucrin. Not to humans. The money your domain promises can provide security and comfort, but it's empty. There's no fulfillment in that. Mesmeri's domain is too fickle. The humans will laud you one day and eviscerate you the next. You cannot rely on others. The only respite in life is the peace you fight for within yourself. Though that's something I can't expect you to understand.
That does sound nice. Oh, wait, except it's peace some people win by being racists.
I'm only saying that this is an impasse that cannot be overturned. But what's the use in preserving identities we know to be harmful? We can't give up just because we know there are people abusing the system. That means we need to think of a better system. My answer is no, Yoon.
How are you going to sit there and pretend you care about what's best for humans? You don't see the worst of it, Mania. You just close your eyes to the world so you can pretend every identity in it is valid.
You have no room to criticize. Your algorithms have always taken advantage of human biases to maximize engagement.
But there wouldn't be any biases if not for you.
Mesmeri, we're not here to place blame. There has to be a middle ground. If there's ground to concede, it's Mania's. Mesmeri and I are already here. I warned you at the start, I will not change my mind. These two know better than most how important the preservation of identity is.
Wow.
I assure you, I have never put any stock in your domain. I struggle to think of anything more unproductive than defining your worth with arbitrary labels. Hardly arbitrary. Your system has been oppressing people long enough for class identity to gain some real traction. All the power concentrated at the top. There's no way for an underclass to gain leverage except by quantity. That's... Lucren can't seem to come up with an actual defense on the spot. Those nuisances would rather complain than actually seek to better their lives. Lucren, stop! Oh no, we've made everyone mad. I pat him on the arm, but Lucren just covers his face. What Lucren means to say is that in the past... What Lucren means to say is that all of that is in the past. I'm glad people have been able to unite against a common enemy, but it's not a real solution. There shouldn't be exploitation and corruption in the first place. If we can create a system that works for the people instead, then they won't need any extra leverage. You expect me to believe this guy won't corrupt such a system. As long as the system is hierarchical, those at the bottom will need my power. Lucren won't... Lucren interrupts me by slamming his fist against the counter with enough force to rattle the glasses. It's your own fault humans have grown selfish. You encourage them to think no farther than themselves.
And we aren't just leaving it up to Lulu to do whatever he wants. That's the point of unity. We're working together so everyone's needs gets met.
I'm the reason humans are selfish, as if Mesmeri's domain encourages anything but vanity and vapid instant gratification. Guys...
Give me one reason that social media is actually toxic that isn't caused by one of you two trying to creep on in something that wasn't...
I'm bad at reading tonight.
That wasn't caused by one of you two trying to creep on in on something that was created to bring people together in a new and revolutionary way, one of how many.
And capitalism's entire thing is about self-profit, and I'm the one making humans selfish. It's about recognizing what the market needs. People are rewarded as incentive so society can grow.
If being on Twitter is toxic, it's because you've let people get so attached to defending their identities online that they just go around and attack people.
Mesmeri skids her stool backwards so she has room to stand facing the other two. Mesmeri,
you've just gamed the system so that you can get to be the solution to the problems you've created. Way to take a trick right out of Lulu's playbook.
Excuse me? Everyone, listen to me. All three of them fall silent, but not for lack of more to say. Mania looks serious for the first time. Lucren clutches his arm in clear reservation, and Mesmeri glares at them both resolutely. Okay. I feel like we are not actually going to accomplish anything in this game other than making everyone yell at one another and then slam the door and go to their rooms. Do you see how nothing gets done if you all start yelling at each other? I told you, this is what gods are like when they get together. There's no need for things to be that way. I get that you all have history with each other, but it's time to let go of that anger if we really want to move forward. Things have been bad. We want that to change, so we can't stew in the past. But these are the reasons the world is as it is. You'd have us ignore that? No, you have a point, but we need to tackle your misgivings productively, right? Mesmeri, we want to make social media a more accepting place, a place where people can truly feel connected to others. Mesmeri settles back into her seat.
But I can't do that when people are looking to start fights. No matter what I do in my algorithm, it doesn't matter if people want to be mad.
Why would they do that?
Why do you think? People are always fighting in the real world. They have to fight against Lulu over here, and all of Mania's groups are... No, it's not even always different groups fighting. A lot of the times it's the same group, and I give them a place where they can be heard, and they use it to make themselves miserable. Your realm is fractured. It's a battleground. That's why people find it exhausting. None of that is my fault. Please, Lucren, I'll get to you.
Come now, Mesmeri, don't act like you're just an innocent bystander. You enable all kinds of bad actors to radicalize others while they're stuck in their little echo chambers. Outrage generates clicks, right?
I have to do that. When your people are using memes for all kinds of horrible ideas, what can I do but section them off so normal people don't have to see them? The internet used to be such a fun place, but you ruined it.
Mesmeri, I understand. You must be so frustrated that a place you meant to bring people together now isolates them. Doubly so in that you have to create those bubbles yourself.
I don't have a choice.
There's always a choice. You have to remember your original purpose. Those bubbles, Mania called them echo chambers. They don't fix the problem. Conflict is bad because it creates resentment and division, and that gets in the way of people working together. But insulating them isn't any better. That creates division too. If you really want social media to be a place of connection, you have to have faith that people can find a way to understand each other. That's not always a good thing that can happen, though. Sometimes when people get together, they just murder each other and do bad things.
Sad face.
Do you want to have faith?
Yes, I want my realm to be happier again.
Happier for whom, though? Let's not pretend that social media used to be a space where everyone was respected. No, the norm was upheld, and people who deviated had no spaces at all. Stop giving Mesmeri doubts, Mania. You know that's not the kind of world we're trying to build. You're hurting Mesmeri for no reason. I wish that I could speak in emojis. Lucren has been listening quietly for a while. When I turn to him, he still looks a little guarded. Lucren, you should also keep the faith. You want to build a system where success is possible for anyone. I intended that. A system where people could pursue success by meeting the demands of the market, but humans corrupted it. They were too selfish to see the big picture. And you blame us for that. Your whole thing is about protecting the self, and your whole thing is the pursuit of desire. Anyone could have told you that a system like that rewards greed. It's a saying for a reason. The reason that the invisible hand seems invisible is that it isn't there. Humans didn't corrupt your system. You did. That's not. Lucren stops himself, though I can't tell if it's because he's holding back or if it's because he doesn't have a rebuttal. You only have yourself to blame for your system failing. Mania, Lucren has made mistakes, but he's here because he wants to change. Wouldn't the real tragedy be if he gave up entirely? That would only ensure everything stays the same. We're here to find solutions that will help everybody. The only way to achieve that is to look beyond your own domains and realize that everyone is hurting. The only way through to a more harmonious world is to work together. Mesmeri eyes Lucren consideringly, and Lucren stares at the drinks on the table, pensive. And I get that you're hurting too, Mania. I get all of it. I get why identity is important to humans. I wish I'd met all of you earlier. I never imagined that other gods were trying their best too. It was supposed to be up to me to save the world, but while I was just waiting on my little planet in Empyrea's realm, everyone else was in pain.
Yun?
The first time I came here, I was so amazed that so many gods could live in one place. I'm still amazed. These gods, they've touched humans' lives. They're important to people. That's something I haven't done yet. It's supposed to be my destiny, and you've all been doing that all this time. For better or for worse. Mania, you deserve to be proud of this domain, of your humans. That's why it must trouble you too, that people take what you've given them and use it to hurt each other. As is their right. You hypocrite. I thought it was strange. You're so powerful and self-assured. Why waste your time tagging along with us, helping us, if you knew it was futile?
Are you sure it wasn't just to get in our way?
They could have sabotaged us if they wanted to, but they let me make my case each time. And they watched as both you and Lucren changed your minds, even though they thought Unity threatened their domain. You're reading too much into it. I didn't care what Mesmeri and Lucren chose, since it wouldn't mean anything if I wasn't going to join either. You need all three of us. No, I did think it was strange. I do a lot of business with other gods, and they get in my way all the time, but you've never cared what we got up to. I was wondering what had changed. I think it's because you know something has to be done, Mania. You didn't need us to come here and argue with you. You know that this fixation on identity, no matter how it soothes an individual, also leads to persecution of others. You don't need to bother the other gods. You're already at war with yourself.
You mean they're like a centrist?
No. No, Yun means there's a paradox here. People use their identities to harm others, but identity is also the only means around which victims can organize. Taking away my power will hurt those who are most vulnerable first. They have nothing else.
But doing nothing is also not kosher. That doesn't help victims right now either.
That's what a paradox is, Mesmeri. But it doesn't have to be that way. We shouldn't have to weigh one group against the other. You just need to trust us, Mania. How dare you ask that of me, of us? You didn't know anything about the world before we explained it to you. That's why I can tell you're being unreasonable. You have a stake in things being the way they have always been, but if you just let go of that, I swear we can come up with compromises that works for everyone. I'm just kind of making up how half of these lines go right now. Don't make me laugh. Mania smiles again, but for the first time it has a cutting edge to it. You may be right. We gods have dark sides to us, to our domains. We bring the world our light, and we cast our shadows upon it too. Mesmeri distributes all ideas, all messages, no matter how false or revolutionary, whether uplifting or toxic.
Angry face.
Lucren installs order and progress and demands it, no matter who gets crushed underfoot. And I let anyone stand for themselves, even if they have to stand on someone else to do it. We gods aren't perfect, and neither are you. You take and take from us. You offer nothing in return except a dream of a better world. But whose? Just yours. Some of us don't fit into your world, not without giving up what makes us whole. That's not what I'm asking. The people you request the most of have the most to lose. You said it yourself. You have no stake. How cruel of you to demand we compromise when you have nothing to give. I said I would work with you all. That's impossible. Unity must exist in totality or not at all.
But Yun has been the one fighting for us all this time, right? They didn't give up on us. Mania is just trying to get in our heads.
It's true. They've sacrificed the least and gained the most from this arrangement. You know I don't have anything to gain from doing this, Lucren. We all want to make the world better for humans. We don't know that it will actually make things better for them. We can only guess based on the information we know. But one of us has almost no information at all. How can someone who has no idea what it's like to suffer claim to know the solution to it?
It's because Yun is meant to heal suffering. What other purpose could Unity have?
You only think it's that simple. You only think that because that's what Yun claims. Mesmeri, could you forgive Lucren? Don't bring me into this.
I don't want to hold grudges either. Lulu is everywhere. It's not like I could just mute him.
He has his claws in your domain. Do you really think he has your users' best interest at heart? Why on earth would you be expected to cede to him, just in the name of compromise?
Clown face.
Mesmeri, it's because if the system doesn't work smoothly, everyone loses in the end. Cede to me? Her apps wouldn't even exist without my influence.
Here you go again, pretending that just because you have some corporations with the same names as my children, that you own me or something. Those things are just zombies. I'm the one who holds social media together.
Maybe you two could work together, but only if Lucrin gave up any of this demands of the market stuff, as if the market matters more than the people in it. The system matters because of the people. That's the whole point. Guys, please don't fight. We all agree these are issues that need to be resolved, but we can only do that if everyone lets go of the urge to be defensive. How can we not defend ourselves? You've trespassed into our domains, would villain us for the mechanisms that have allowed our people to survive. As if your way is the only way forward. No, that's not it. You're just fixating on what you each have now, separate gods and separate domains. You think that by working together, you'll lose that. But we're all meant to protect one world. We're meant to work together for that, so if we can make up for each other's shortcomings. Imagine one pantheon, each deity complementing the next. Whatever you lose, you gain so much more when we're in harmony. We lose. You gain. We all benefit if we can make the world a better place. But you specifically benefit if we do it your way. You aren't interested in just saving the world. You want to be the savior of it. That's not... Is that what you really think of me? Ooh.
Mania, is there really another way to save the world other than Yoon's pantheon?
We don't even know if that'll work. I don't mean to discredit Yoon's plan. It could work. Puck, you need to not claw on my couch, please. My cats are being very bad tonight. And also my throat is like just already completely fucked. Puck, you are being such a naughty boy tonight. But it also might not. Our domains come together separately. They function in defiance of each other, so I don't see any reason this plan will fare better than any other.
But it could be worth a try still.
You can try if you wish, but I'll have nothing to do with it. I won't abandon the humans who still need me, not until the playing field is actually level. It never will be if we just continue what we've been doing. So that's it? Are we just all giving up now?
We can't, right? If all four of us don't want to accept the way things are now, there's gotta be something we can do.
I can't do anything if these two are so dead set against me. They don't want me on their side. You've never been much of a team player either. I'm like already forgetting what character is talking and I just kind of decide which one. All of them would be her if I could. Actually, no, her voice is very hard to do, to keep up. I didn't mean to make you all feel like I was trampling over your domains. That's not what I want at all. And I certainly don't want you to give up anything important just so I can be the hero. I want to have conversations. I want you to feel like you're all part of the team, not just following after me. But it is your team. You made it. Mania was right. Lucrin breaks off as if he can't bear to finish the sentence. Ugh, I can't say it. At the start, when Mania said we never would have done this if you hadn't made us, that's true. This is your dream. It's your dream too, Lucrin, before you gave up on it. You wanted to make a system that was good for humans. I wanted a system that was fair to them. Mania wants a world free of shackles. In a way, those are opposites too. We are different. Irreconsolably so. Oh, Puck has spotted a fly, and I think he is about to leap after it, so there may be some crashing.
I still want a world where everyone gets along.
You wouldn't miss all of the Swifty versus Army versus Arianator discourse?
Eyes.
Disgusting.
That stuff isn't serious, though. It isn't ruining the world. It's just discourse for fun.
The fact that you can say that with a straight face, I can't believe I actually entertained the idea that we could... Guys, we can work it out if we can figure out a way that everyone can get what they want, because if we give up now and everyone just keeps fighting against each other, no one will win. No one gets what they want. All of us knew this was a long shot going into it. Humans have always been incapable of working together, and gods are like that too.
Don't say that.
It could still work out. Do you really think that's true, or do you just wish it was? Lucren steps away from the counter. He lingers for a second and then drops his voice. It was a pretty fantasy. I'm sorry that's all it turned out to be. Oh no. Lucren straightens again and looks back at Mania and Mesmeri, once again the picture of aristocratic disinterest. I'll be off, since I no longer have business in this establishment. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Okay, one moment. My poor dumbass has managed to close himself into the bathroom, so I have to save him. Puck, why are you being silly today? Why are you being so silly today? Yeah? I'll give you two a minute. I'm sorry we couldn't convince them, Yoon. It's okay. I just need to regroup and think. Lucren might come on board again if I can actually figure out a better plan, one that takes everyone's needs into account. Do you have any ideas, Mesmeri? I just think... You agree with them.
No, I do think we're doing the right thing. We're really working hard. And if they said a lot of things that were out of line because they're super toxic. That's why I can't really imagine a perfect world with them there.
Even Mesmeri.
Ah.
No, go back. I didn't mean to hit that. I don't really know what I hit.
I'm sorry, Yoon.
It's not your fault.
I still feel bad though. IG2G. IG2G2. I have to check my feeds, but you can come by anytime. Even though it ended this way, I'm glad I met you.
Bye, Mesmeri.
Bye.
Mania doesn't say anything as Mesmeri flickers away, but I feel their eyes on me. What is it? Nothing. I'm sure you're mad at me. I am mad. I'm not mad. Are we mad? I feel like we're at least a little mad. Or we're not mad, we're just disappointed. It hurt a bit, but I should have known better. I'm the one who got the group together, so I'm the one who needed to come up with the plan. I shouldn't need 3 other gods to hold my hand throughout the process. I'll leave you alone then. If you want to, you're free to stay here. No pressure. You can leave if this place is kind of tainted for you. But if you do want to learn about what individual humans need, what they like and aspire to, what they fear, you can stick around. You mean by talking to the gods here? Talking, watching, listening. Humans are dysfunctional in a way you'll never understand just listening to me or Mesmeri or Lucren. You've had your sights set on humanity as a collective this whole time. Unity can only see the big picture, everyone together. People look cleaner that way. It's easier to see them if you can only see them from afar. It's easy to say what the right thing is then. But humans are rarely whole by the time they reach adulthood. That's why they turn to the gods to fill that void. You'll never fill it for them if you can't understand that. Please, please leave me alone. Very well. Mania steps away from the bar. Distantly, I register them moving deeper into the bar towards the stairs to the upper level. I don't know how long I sit on the stool, next to 4 forgotten cups, just turning Mania's words around in my head over and over again. The bar is full. People don't notice me. They're too caught up in their own lives. I need to get out of here. Part 5. Ad infinitum. I don't know if I should keep going. I feel like we've got to be near an end. There's no way it can go on too much longer. But also, oh my gosh, I'm tired. I certainly am going to save it. Yes, save. Although, if I only finish one game, like, every, 2 weeks, this is gonna take so long to do. I have so many games to get through. But hopefully I will not skip next Wednesday and I will actually be able to stream then. So I suppose for now we will call this a good fun ending and we will do this again some other time.
Goodbye.